Hi, this is Luis Souza from rawveganpower.com, and I'm very excited today to have a Russian guest, who lives in Thailand, a raw fitness model as well. She's very beautiful. She's Anzhela Shurina. I hope I pronounced it right. From foodandfitnessdelivery.com. Welcome, Anzela. It's so good to
Hi,
have you
Lee.
here today.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
very
very much for
excited.
having me.
It's really a pleasure to talk to you, and especially because you have this story, and I'm from Brazil. I am in Brazil, and we have. I'm used from things from the Western world, right? And you are
Mhm.
exactly in the Eastern world.
Yeah, opposite.
Russia, Thailand, and so on. So please share with us your story. I was reading your raw journey that you have in your blog, and when you mentioned that you went through this raw journey, going from Siberia to Turkey and then Thailand, well, then please tell us about that because it's so cool. Uh,
Yeah, I'm
it's,
happy to share the story. Well, my raw food journey started almost exactly 3 years ago. Actually, on August 8th will be my anniversary, 3 years since I went raw.
oh,
And
congratulations!
thank you. And I started because I read some book, some esoteric book, where the author said that if you want to manifest things in your life, you need to have, all the energy you can. And one of the most energy-consuming processes is digestion. So when you eat raw food, you free all that energy, to manifest whatever you want and to make your life as you want. So I switched to raw food after I read the book. Next day, I went 100% in one night, and I started that in Siberia. And in Siberia we don't have that many fruits and vegetables available. In summer, it's pretty good because we get fruits and vegetables from the south of Russia. But in winter and autumn, spring, well, basically most of the year, 9, 10 months, we have really limited supply of imported fruits. Mostly it's bananas, apples, persimmons, we have tomatoes, cucumbers, some herbs. And it was really challenging to get all the energy from those fruits because they're not even organic, and they all imported and have almost nothing by the time they get to Siberia. So I was always hungry because no matter how much I would eat, I would not get
And
nutrients that my body
it should
needed.
be very expensive as well, I think.
Yeah, it's actually was my diet was the most expensive because I would buy, like 4 or 5 kilos of fruits and vegetables, and it would cost me um, in dollars would be like around $100 per day.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah. So that was really challenging.
Well, one
And
curiosity, what was that book that you mentioned? The-
it's a book by Russian author. It's called Transferring of Reality, if you translate it into English. I don't think it's translated into English, but basically that book was about manifesting things into your life, things that you want.
Fantastic. I love that concept. I never heard about it, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, and he talks there a lot about energy, how you can do different exercises, and how you should change, your thoughts, the way you eat, the way you think, and a lot of other things. But yeah, that's why I switched to raw food diet. But what was interesting is, I was on my personal journey of trying to find that perfect way of eating that will allow me not to think about food too much, and just eat naturally, have that natural hunger that I would eat, have enough and don't have to think about calories, nutrients, taking supplements, and all that stuff. And raw food diet was the answer. It was ideal. Now, I don't count calories or I don't worry about vitamins and supplements I need to take to be healthy. I didn't go to doctors. I feel free because, I don't have to depend on medicines, and it
It's
feels amazing.
fantastic. And you became
Yeah.
an 8-10-10er, right? I read about
Yeah,
it.
that was after that esoteric book. The first book I read about raw food diet was 80-10-10 diet, and I guess I was really fortunate because, you know, uh, that book, like people who follow that approach, they're healthy, and if you follow all the advice that Douglas Graham gives you, I mean, fitness, not only food, but fitness as well, and sun, and no stress, or as little as possible, then you can really achieve great results.
And what about Turkey? Because you went to Turkey as well, being a raw
Yeah,
vegan.
after like year and a half, I think, in Siberia, I went to Turkey because at that time it was, well, I was there for several times on vacation, and I had some people I knew, and it seemed like, and visa wasn't difficult, and it seemed really easy place to move to. And because the weather is really great there, and they have a lot of fruits, vegetables, greens, you know, it was perfect for my lifestyle. Not perfect, but much better than Siberia. And I think I tried there the most amazing vegetables and greens I've ever had in my life.
But did you move alone with your family?
No,
Uh,
alone. I don't have, a husband or children. I have my parents back in Siberia. I have older sister, and yeah, I just decided to move, and my parents were okay with that because even after school, I went to US as exchange student, so I was always traveling, and in university, I studied in another city, so they were used for me to be somewhere else, and yeah,
and
and they
then
always support me.
Thailand, right?
Yeah, in
And then
Thailand, after Turkey, I went for a month's vacation to beautiful island Koh Samui because one of my friends recommended it. So it was just pure, I don't know, fortune or luck. I just went to this island and I really loved it. And I decided, why not to move here? I always wanted to live on a tropical island. And I had that, screensaver on my computer of a beautiful sunset on the beach, and I always wanted to be in that picture. So I went back to
all of us
Siberia.
would like to be on that picture, right?
Yeah, and still on my I still use it as my computer screensaver. And yeah, I went back to Siberia, finished
Fantastic.
everything I needed to finish, and then I just left for Thailand.
It's cool. And
And
how long have you been living in Thailand so far?
uh, 11 months, in September 3rd, I'll have my anniversary 1 year since I'm here.
Oh, great. It's a great lifestyle.
Yeah,
And
and here it's amazing because of fruits, vegetables, sun all year round. And
yeah, I've heard
yeah.
about the durians as well, right? You have
Yeah.
fantastic
I mean,
durians there.
I tried it 4 or 5 times, but honestly, I do not understand the fruit. I don't like it.
In Brazil, we have not the, I think it's not really durian, but something close to that, and I don't like it as well. I don't know why people are so crazy about that fruit, but anyway. But I'm very curious about the Thailand, the Thai durian, I mean, and
Yeah.
maybe someday I will taste it.
Yeah, why not? It's easy country to travel and cheap to travel here too. And they don't, there are not only durians, there are so many amazing fruits. And Thailand has, I think, the richest fruit culture in the world. Like even when you get to the airport, they have all those smoothie places, fruit places where you can buy cut fruits and coconuts, and you can get them anywhere on the street.
Fantastic. Then it's a very good place for a raw foodist,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Fantastic. I need to go there. Well, and then you went athletic and modeling, right? Could you tell
Uh,
something about that as well? You
well,
just
I
ran
was,
a marathon, right? And
yeah, in Phuket I did. It was
fantastic.
quite, yeah, quite an experience. But my fitness journey started long time ago when I was a child because my father was physical training teacher and he was always doing some kind of sport. And he always encouraged me and my sister to do sports, to go skiing with him, to do yoga or going cycling. So since I was a child, I did all that stuff, and then it felt for me naturally to continue all that fitness activity. So when I was at school, I was doing yoga already, dancing. Then in university, I continued doing that, and I started to train in the gym, to do more dance, yoga classes, to start to coach my fellow students, and then started to conduct fitness group classes. And
And you are very flexible. I'm really impressed by this.
yeah, but
Uh,
it's lifetime work. Like I've
right.
been doing stretching all my life, so it's not given, it's earned.
Oh, you mean that people who aren't so flexible could get there as well? I see what you mean.
Yeah, I had, I coach people, I train people, and even people, when they're in 40s, 50s, they can be really flexible. They can do splits and other stuff too. It just takes time. You need to do it consistently every day.
Well, uh, let's talk about that. You do coaching, right? How do you do that? I mean, do you have clients all over the world, only in Thailand? How is
Yeah,
it
I
working for you?
actually, yeah, most of my clients come from US because when I was an exchange student there, I met a lot of people, fitness people, and just people in general. And I went back to Russia, and in US, people were used to, coaching online and that kind of stuff. In Russia, not so much. It only now started to appear, coaching online, training online. So most of my clients are from US. Then I have some clients from Russia, from Europe, and here in Thailand, in Koh Samui, I train people too when they come for vacation or people who live here. So when I train people online, I create personalized training programs, uh, eating plan with menu, recipe, shopping list. I also give a lot of tips and tricks on how to change your habits or beliefs that don't allow you to follow your perfect eating plan or training plan, to stick to a training plan. I'm trying to, not to just give people some kind of program that they can do for a while and then go back to their old habits, and get back all that excess weight and all their like health problems. I'm trying to teach people how to become healthy and stay healthy for life and not ever think about, health problems or weight problems.
Right, and then you also do catering in.
Yeah, here in Koh Samui, I also do raw food catering, snacks and desserts mostly. Uh, there are not a lot, but quite a few raw food people, and also people who just like to eat healthier. So they order cakes and snacks, and they really love them. And I'm trying to, bring people food that loves them back. And it's so cool, to see people enjoying their food and also being healthy, staying healthy, not worrying about putting on weight or anything like that. So pretty
And you have
amazing.
awesome recipes in your blog. I was going through them. Would you have any Russian raw food recipe to share with us today?
Actually, uh, well, most of them are, not so easy to share. Most of them I can. put it on your blog or
No, no, I
later?
mean, I just want to know one of them. I mean, I'm going through your blog right now, and
No,
I don't
on my
know.
blog actually there are no Russian raw food recipes, but there are some foods like, for example, akroshka. It's Russian summer soup. It's not raw if you make it traditional way, but you can easily adjust it and make it raw because most of the like traditional one has as ingredients cucumbers, potatoes, um, uh, tomatoes, a lot of herbs, some lemon juice, but it also has some milk product. It's called kefir. I don't know if you heard about it.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, but you can easily substitute it, make your own kefir, but raw version from nuts. You just add lemon juice. Usually I make it from cashews. And yeah, I can share the recipe later if you want. It's really amazing. It's cold and it's really nice.
Oh, and it's cold.
Yeah, but it's summer soup. That's why we like it cold because in summer in
Yeah,
Siberia,
okay,
the
okay.
weather can be pretty hot. So we enjoy
Really?
that. Yeah,
I
it's plus 30,
never
plus
thought that
32.
could happen. 32 Celsius?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hot then. I
Yeah,
thought
but
Siberia was cold all over the year, you know.
no, that's the thing actually about the place where I live. We have a really huge difference between summer weather and winter weather. Like in winter, and it can be minus 60 sometimes.
Oh, great. You know, there is a Brazilian author, I don't know if you heard about him, Paulo Coelho.
Yeah, I
And
know, of
he,
course. I read his books.
did you read the Aleph? It's one of his latest books, and he tells a story that happened with him. It's an autobiography story, and he went through Siberia with the it's a train. It's the
Trans-Siberian.
Trans-Siberia route or something.
Yeah, yeah. It goes through whole Russia.
Yeah, and it's so fantastic. Well, but it was all cold. I think he went through Siberia during the winter. I can guess that, right?
Yeah, I
But
can imagine.
because he didn't get this kind of temperatures we are mentioning now. See, it was cold I think it was like some weeks at least, going through Siberia. Very beautiful book. And because he was giving autographs in some
Hmm.
places, because they were launching one other of his books, and then well, it was very very beautiful the book and the sceneries that he described and so on. Very very interesting.
No, I haven't read it, but I will. If it talks about Siberia, I should.
Yeah, and it's an adventure, even though it's something, it's a real story, but it seems like an adventure. It's so cool,
Hmm.
and he is a good writer. He writes in a way that he keeps your attention. Well, and what would be uh, your view of the raw foods in Russia now and the future of it?
Well, right now, more and more people are getting interested in healthy lifestyle and raw food too. It's not the mainstream, of course, and it's only starting to emerge. We're only starting to have raw vegan restaurants and shops where you can buy, good fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and other stuff. But yeah, more and more people getting more interested, especially people who have health problems, because doctors can't really help, you, I mean, they can prescribe you medicine, but they don't really heal you. They just hide the symptoms. So more and more people start to understand that. And also, the food quality, people starting to understand that the food we have in the stores, most of it is like poison for your body. People eat it and then feel worse, and they start to wonder like what's going on, what's wrong with that, and where to find an answer, what to eat. So a lot of course, most of the people don't ever go 100% raw, but they start to include more fruits and vegetables. Even like my parents back in Siberia, now I'm advising them on how to include more fruits, vegetables. They don't want to go 100% raw, but they know that they should eat more fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, greens especially, and they starting to do that, and they feel much, much better. More energy, no pains, just stomach and digestive system works really perfect. So yeah, people in Russia started to get the message, and there are people who coach people on raw food, how to how to transition. And also we have congresses, international congresses. We even have a Russian Raw Food Association that
Oh,
yeah, it's actually in the government. So everything, they have their own certification for people who want to teach about raw food. So it's already in the government, and it's going, maybe we'll go mainstream someday, who knows. But yeah, and also we have a lot of hangouts, like raw food potlucks and stuff like that.
oh, that's great news.
Yeah. And my friends before, when I just started being raw vegan, they were telling me like, you're crazy, you will get sick, and you may even die. Like, and then after 3 years, now they ask my advice, how to eat right, what to eat, and because I'm doing so well.
Just the opposite, right?
Yeah.
People think you are crazy in the beginning, and then they look for you, and they
Yeah.
feel crazy themselves, right? I
Especially in
know.
Siberia, people think, oh, it's so cold. How can you eat only fruits and vegetables? You need meat, hot soups, but you don't really. My body feels more warm now when I eat fruits and vegetables than I used to when I ate all that hot food.
I see. Then you were in Siberia, and your body became hotter, right? And then you felt less cold. Would be
Yeah,
like
because
this.
all the circulation improves too, and your body um, can change the temperature easily, can adjust easily. When I was back in Siberia in summer, everyone was, wearing a lot of clothes when it got a little bit colder, but I felt perfectly okay. So I sure that you don't need hot food in order to be hot, to be warm.
Right. And one other thing that I saw in your raw journey is that you had mood swings and you don't have them anymore. Could you talk about
Yes,
that too?
uh, sure. And when I was eating cooked food, I would feel sometimes depressed, Sometimes people can would say something to me, and I would feel upset, and then I would go and binge on some, or just, eat sweets or something else, and it would affect my mood even, further. I would feel high at first, happy, and then I would crash and feel all upset, and even worse because I ate all that bad food. And yeah, just, and now I don't have that, sometimes I don't feel, all that, I don't know, jumpy and I don't know, energized, but I didn't have that kind of depressed feeling, I always feel that life is good, I'm happy, and everything gonna be all right. I always have that positive attitude now. It's never it's never down. It's never that huge. I don't have those huge mood swings.
It's so fantastic to hear this. And talking about something more specific to women, the period and uh, how is it for you now? I mean, because this is a time during the month when many women have mood swings, right?
Yeah, my period changed actually through these 3 years. It depends, what you eat. Like if you eat more fat, usually my period gets stronger, and I feel a little bit more heavier and retain a bit more water. And my mood, yeah, it can change. I wouldn't feel that. I would feel just heavier, and because of that, I wouldn't feel that much energy. But no pains, no cramps, nothing. And before I began my raw food journey, my period was 6, 7 days, and was really heavy. And yeah, my mood would, I would be upset. I can, I don't know, tell people something to abuse them, or just not consciously, but I was in a bad mood. And now it's just, 2, 3 days, and it's light, and I don't really have bad mood. I just may feel a little bit heavier than usual, and you take a bit more water. I feel that, but it's natural. And some people say that their period disappears. For me personally, what I noticed, if my fat percentage goes really low, my period can stop, yeah. But if my it usually happens when I train a lot and don't eat as much as my body needs. But if I train consistently on a normal level, if I eat right and enough food, and my body fat percentage is between, I don't know, around 18, I think. So my period is light and no pain, no cramps, no really mood swings.
I think
Yeah,
this is fantastic news, right? Because
yeah,
women always normal, I would say, in the
yeah,
normal diet, women usually are always complaining about this. And I have a daughter, and she is starting to have her period, and
yeah.
I see that she is really stressed in those days, right? But she is starting to eat more fruits, and hopefully this will become better for her too.
And also, another thing is you become more aware of those, days and what's going to happen, and you just understand your body more. You listen to your body more, and it helps you to, to cope with those, maybe, small mood swings, and you just in general, you're more conscious, about your life and what's going on in your head, and that really helps.
Sure. Yeah, this is something that most raw vegans say, that you start knowing yourself better, right? It's a self-knowledge thing. Yeah, fantastic. And it's very important. Most people don't know themselves, right?
Yeah, because what I noticed since I began eating raw food, you really feel how, like, each food affects your body, it affects your
Hmm.
energy and affects everything. It's like every food has its own energy, and when you put it inside you, it affects you a little bit. And especially after a time, on a raw vegan diet, and if you happen to eat something cooked, especially animal products, you will feel the difference right away, how your energy goes down, how your mood changes, because you're eating energy, and
Sure.
that really matters what you put into your body. You should treat your body like a temple.
Which is something that most people don't do, right? And we didn't before as well, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't too. I mean,
When we
we're not.
realize that, it's crazy, because why didn't I do this before, right? So,
But that's all, education from childhood. You see it first how your parents eat, then you see, your friends, their families, teachers, all society, and you just do the same thing and you never question it because that's what all people do.
yeah,
But then when you grow up, you start questioning things.
yeah, and it's very important. important, right, to do that because it's your health, it's your temple, it's your body, and so on.
Yeah.
And well, hopefully more people will become doing that. Will begin to do that as we are doing. Well, may I ask you a personal question that I'm very curious about, and I'm sure that people who are watching would be
Yeah,
wanting
sure.
wanting to know that. Well, you already mentioned that you are not married, but do you have a boyfriend? Someone would be have some hope with you?
Well, right now it's kind of difficult. I do have a boyfriend, but
Oh, you have a
yeah,
boyfriend. Okay,
yeah.
let's forget
But he's
that.
not raw vegan or anything. Just, some people wonder, some women especially wonder, like, if I became a raw vegan, do I have to, uh, find the boyfriend who eats like me? And, it's sometimes it's difficult, but you don't have to do that. Like, my boyfriend eats even animal products. It's all about of acceptance, about understanding, knowing that you chose this way, but no, it's maybe not for everyone.
And what about your parents? Are they raw vegans now?
I would say they
Oh,
are
you
vegan.
already mentioned, right? They are
Yeah,
starting. Yeah, you told that. Sure.
but what's also funny? In a way, in a bit, we all, a little bit raw vegans, because it's not like we never ate raw fruits and vegetables before we became raw vegans. We still did that, just the percentage was smaller. And
Yes.
that's what actually I'm trying to tell now a lot of people. Sometimes they label raw vegans and they say, well, if I'm not 100%, that I'm not going to even listen to that. But the point here is not to be 100% anything, but to add to your diet as much as possible raw fruits, vegetables, greens, and you may be even like 70% and be perfectly healthy, as long as you eat fresh produced, with almost each of your meal, as long as it's most of your diet consists of that, then you'll be doing pretty good. And when I started my journey, I was, idealist. I wanted to be 100% no matter what. Like, I thought it's either 100% or nothing. And that actually caused a lot of problems, because then when you eat something cooked, especially with transitioning, you start to judge yourself, and it really affects your mood and energy, and it's harder then to go back. So I just want to tell people, and to make them understand that you don't have to go to do 100% anything. And it's not like you signing a contract, for your whole life. You can be 100% today, 70% tomorrow, and whatever you want, the day after. Just follow your feelings, whatever makes you feel good.
Fantastic. And then I would ask you what would be your best advice to start being a raw vegan, but you already answered that, right? Because you are saying that people are already raw vegans, even that they know, even if they don't know it, right? Because they are already eating some part of their
Yeah.
diet, which is raw vegan. Fantastic concept. I
But
love that.
yeah, what I would recommend people, and I always recommend, like, start with your breakfast, because it's breaking the fast, and at least make that raw. And then with each meal, just make sure you have fresh fruits, fresh. If it's before the meal, you can have fresh fruits, and then you have a big salad with your meal, and snacks. Try to make them raw too. So, and that's how you start, and then you can still, especially at the beginning, enjoy your favorite foods, but do it, in a smart way. Combine it well and eat fresh, a lot of fresh vegetables and green with that, and you'll be much better, and the transitioning will be much easier. Because
Very good. Right.
when you tell yourself, I'm gonna do 100%, it's really hard. Even for me, who I was used to different kinds of diets, but even for me, it was mentally really hard to be 100%.
Yeah, it's like putting an obstacle too high, right? And you
Yes.
look at it and you scared, right? You are scared about that. Yeah. And every day you do that, it's scary. It can be scary, right? Just to
And it's
have
also,
that
yeah,
that
dangerous. You can slip back and to some really bad food. If you do it gradually, you usually don't feel those really strong cravings for, junk food or anything. But if you mentally say like, I'm 100% and I'm not gonna eat that food ever again, then you just go and eat, all of it, and then next day, go 100% again.
yeah, that strict idea of 100% can be counterproductive. Yeah, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Well, last question, Anzela.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Big question, small answer. Just one sentence. Okay, the answer.
Okay.
Comparing the person you were before being a raw vegan and the person you are now, you know, what would be your raw vegan power? You can complete the sentence. My raw vegan power is, and then you complete the sentence.
Myro vegan power. It's difficult question. um, um, well, inspiration. I don't know. My main power is inspiring by example. And I'm not sure like if that's what you wanted to hear, but since I became a raw vegan and I made transitions to myself, to my lifestyle, I'm just shining more. And I'm when people see me, they see that energy, that health radiating. They're inspired and they want to be more and become more and eat healthier and be fitter, and be the best they can.
Inspiring by example. I got it.
Yeah.
Good. And I can see you are healthy, you are beautiful, you are have a beautiful skin, everything perfect. And I can feel the energy through the internet. I can imagine if I were in the same room with you and looking at you and so on. I can see that.
Yeah. And when
Fantastic.
I talk to people, I'm so enthusiastic about the whole idea, the whole lifestyle. So I want to share and, help people to feel the same. And they see that's the only reason why I'm, doing what I'm doing. And they want to, do it because they feel that love and that I care.
And you do care, I can feel it. Fantastic. You are on a mission here, right?
Yeah, we all are.
Fantastic.
There is a saying, the world is changing and I'm on a transitioning team. That's how I feel.
I love that. This sentence is fantastic. The world is changing and I'm on the
On
transitioning
transitioning
stream.
team, yeah.
Great. Uh, am I pronouncing it right? Anzela. Is it right or?
Well, you see, I pronounce it here in Thailand and other countries as Angela.
I love it.
Because,
Angela, I can do it.
yeah,
We have Angela in Brazil as well. It's exactly that, but it's with a G. It's not
yeah.
ZH, but G.
It's just how we spell it in Russia. We have rules of spelling names. So in my foreign passport, that's how they spell.
Angela. Good. I can do that. I was worried about that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming here today, Angela. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
looking
so much
forward
for
to
having.
that raw food Russian recipe.
Yeah, okroshka.
Akroshka, I would
Yeah.
love to share that for you here in Raw Vegan Power. And you who are watching, go now and look all the great stuff that Anzhela Shurina has to offer you. Coaching, catering. The site is food and with just
And
the
also,
letter N in
people can come here.
fitnessdelivery.com. And if you go to Thailand, go
Yeah.
meet her. What's the name of the island?
Koh Samui.
Koh Samui. in Thailand. Go there and meet Anzhela. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you,
go
Luis, for
there.
having me. And
Thank you so much. It was lots of fun. Great pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you,
it was really
Angela.
great pleasure for me too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.